Crimson Manor, The Bloodline Curse. Chapter 2, Whispers in the Walls. Determined to unravel the mysterious whispers and eerie presence permeating their new home, Isabella and James immersed themselves in the history of Crimson Manor and its inhabitants. Hours passed in the library, poring over diaries, letters and newspaper clippings, hoping to unearth clues that might shed light on the Bloodline Curse. One afternoon, Isabella discovered an ancient journal containing the writings of Eliza, a young woman from over a century ago who lived in the manor. Eliza described the estate's decline into sorrow, recounting eerie experiences like ghostly touches, disembodied voices, and a chilling presence that seemed to watch her every move. The final entry sent shivers down Isabella's spine, a desperate plea for anyone finding her journal to understand that the manor itself harboured a malevolent force, feeding off the anguish of its trapped inhabitants. As their investigation deepened, they uncovered the tragic fates that had befallen each generation of the family. Disease, madness, and untimely deaths haunted the bloodline, casting a pall of grief and despair over the estate. With each revelation, Isabella and James became more convinced that the whispers they heard were the tormented echoes of those ensnared by the curse. A particularly chilling find awaited them in the attic, an old family portrait, its subjects gazing somberly and hauntedly. The painting seemed to carry the sorrow and suffering that had saturated the walls of Crimson Manor. The eyes of its occupants followed Isabella and James, silently pleading for release from their eternal torment. One evening, as Isabella immersed herself in her relentless research, she unexpectedly stumbled upon a concealed compartment cleverly hidden within a bookcase. Inside lay a series of meticulously drawn maps detailing secret passages and concealed chambers of the manor. Intrigued, she resolved to explore these hidden realms, hoping they held further clues about the curse and its inexplicable manifestations. Equipped with a flashlight and the ancient maps, Isabella ventured into narrow, winding passages that snaked through the manor. The air was thick with mustiness, and the darkness pressed in around her as she navigated the dim corridors. The whispers intensified, urging her onward in her quest for answers. In these hidden recesses, Isabella discovered cryptic markings etched into the walls, seemingly connected to the tragedies that had befallen the manor's previous residents. The realization that these symbols were linked to the curse sent a shiver down her spine. Unbeknownst to Isabella, her exploration did not go unnoticed. Restless spirits in the ancient manor stirred, their whispers darkening with unease. They felt her approach to the truth, and were resolute in their mission to protect their sinister secrets, prepared to do anything to keep her from uncovering what lay hidden. Days passed, and the atmosphere within Crimson Manor grew increasingly oppressive. The whispers seemed omnipresent, haunting Isabella and James at every turn. Even the library, once their refuge, became tinged with unease as restless spirits stirred within the house. Despite mounting dread, Isabella and James persisted, driven by their resolve to uncover the truth behind the Bloodline Curse. They knew that confronting the darkness within Crimson Manor was the only path to peace in their new home. One fateful day, exploring yet another hidden chamber, Isabella discovered a tattered parchment. The ancient document, written in elegant but hard-to-read script, detailed a forgotten ritual by the family's ancestors. Meant to secure wealth and power, it instead unleashed a curse that haunted them for generations. Isabella trembled as she absorbed the implications. The curse was not mere legend, but a tangible, potent force entwined with the manor. It seemed she and James had become its targets. The urgency to share her discovery with James overwhelmed her. They needed to grasp the ritual's entirety, searching for clues within its ancient text that might offer a chance to reverse the curse. Isabella's mind raced with questions. Had any ancestors attempted to break the curse? Were there records of their efforts? Their survival hinged on deciphering every nuance of the parchment, uncovering secrets that could free them from the force ensnaring Crimson Manor. Empowered by their newfound insights, the couple boldly decided to face the curse directly, determined to break its hold. They risked everything to reclaim their future and bring lasting peace back to Crimson Manor. As Isabella and James delved deeper into the mysteries surrounding the Bloodline Curse, they would confront the manor's dark past and the malevolent force at its core. As spirits guarding their secrets grew more desperate, the couple found themselves in a race against time, their lives hanging in the balance. With each step deeper into the labyrinthine corridors of Crimson Manor, Isabella and James uncovered more clues that painted a haunting picture of the curse's origins. They pieced together fragments of forgotten rituals and tragic histories, each revelation bringing them closer to understanding the malevolent force that gripped the estate. Yet amidst the encroaching darkness, they discovered glimmers of hope, stories of resilience and courage from ancestors who had fought against the curse. Armed with newfound determination and the knowledge gleaned from their harrowing journey, Isabella and James forged ahead, determined to break the cycle of despair that had plagued Crimson Manor for generations. Together, they faced the final test, standing in the heart of the manor where the curse's grip was strongest. With trembling hands and steadfast hearts, they performed a ritual of their own making, invoking forgotten words of power and ancient symbols of protection. As if time had stopped, the suffocating atmosphere began to dissolve. Whispers faded into quiet, and the air felt lighter, as if a thick fog had finally lifted from their minds, revealing clarity and relief where there had been confusion and dread. Isabella and James were enveloped by a deep sense of peace, a reflection of their bravery and the strength of their connection. As they stepped into the sunlight pouring through the manor's windows, they realized their journey was just beginning. With the curse lifted, Crimson Manor had transformed from a prison into a sanctuary, and they looked ahead with hope. Together, they embraced the future, prepared to confront whatever challenges awaited them, united in their victory over the shadows that had once held them captive. Their hearts swelled with determination, knowing that the power of their love would guide them through any trials that might come their way. With each step forward, they felt the promise of a brighter tomorrow, calling them onward.